Hi, it's Sue. Thanks for joining me for today's Bible reading. It is for May 14th, and I'm reading 2 Chronicles 13 through 17. Verse 1. In the 18th year of King Jeroboam, Abijah began to reign over Judah. He reigned 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Micaiah, the daughter of Uriel of Gibeah. There was war between Abijah and Jeroboam. Abijah joined battle with an army of valiant men of war, even 400,000 chosen men, and Jeroboam set the battle in array against him with 800,000 chosen men who were mighty men of valor. This is so sad because it's all different tribes of Israel divided into two kingdoms and fighting against each other. So sad. Verse 4. Abijah stood up on Mount Zemaraim, which is in the hill country of Ephraim, and said, Hear me, Jeroboam and all Israel. Ought you not to know that Yahweh the God of Israel gave the kingdom over Israel to David forever, even to him and to his sons by a covenant of salt? Yet Jeroboam the son of Nebat, the servant of Solomon, the son of David, rose up and rebelled against his Lord. Worthless men were gathered to him, wicked fellows who strengthened themselves against Rehoboam the son of Solomon, when Rehoboam was young and tender-hearted and could not withstand them. Excuse me. Now you intend to withstand the kingdom of Yahweh in the hand of the sons of David. You are a great multitude, and the golden calves which Jeroboam made you for gods are with you. Haven't you driven out the priests of Yahweh, the sons of Aaron, and the Levites, and made priests for yourselves according to the ways of the people of other lands? Whoever comes to consecrate himself with a young bull and 7 rams may be a priest of those who are no gods. But as for us, Yahweh is our God, and we have not forsaken him. We have priests serving Yahweh, the sons of Aaron and the Levites in their work, and they burn to Yahweh every morning and every evening burnt offerings and sweet incense. They also set the showbread in order on the pure table and the lampstand of gold with its lamps to burn every evening. For we keep the instruction of Yahweh our God, but you have forsaken him. Behold, God is with us at our head, and his priests with the trumpets of alarm, to sound an alarm against you, children of Israel. Don't fight against Yahweh, the God of your fathers, for you will not prosper. But Jeroboam caused an ambush to come out behind them, so they were before Judah, and the ambush was behind them. When Judah looked back, behold, the battle was before and behind them, and they cried to Yahweh, and the priests sounded the trumpets. Then the men of Judah gave a shout. As the men of Judah shouted, God struck Jeroboam and all Israel before Abijah and Judah. The children of Israel fled before Judah, and God delivered them into their hand. Abijah and his people killed them with a great slaughter, so 500,000 chosen men of Israel fell down slain. Thus the children of Israel were brought under at that time, and the children of Judah prevailed, because they relied on Yahweh, the God of their fathers. Abijah pursued Jeroboam and took cities from him, Bethel with its villages, Jeshanah with its villages, and Ephron with its villages. Jeroboam didn't recover strength again in the days of Abijah. Yahweh struck him, and he died. But Abijah grew mighty and took for himself 14 wives and became the father of 22 sons and 16 daughters. The rest of the acts of Abijah, his ways, and his sayings are written in the commentary of prophet Iddo. So Abijah slept with his fathers, and they buried him in David's city, and Asa, son of, actually Asa, not Esau, his son, reigned in his place. In the days the land was quiet 10 years. Asa did that which was good and right in Yahweh his God's eyes, for he took away the foreign altars and the high places, broke down the pillars, cut down the Asherah poles, and commanded Judah to seek Yahweh, the God of their fathers, and to obey his law and command. Also he took out of the cities of Judah the high places and the sun images, and the kingdom was quiet before him. Man, there's so much behind these words. This Asherah pole and the high places and the sun images, all these worship centers that they had, and the despicable acts that they did there. There's a lot to that. This wasn't just some other religion. It was despicable, pure evil. Verse 6. He built fortified cities in Judah, for the land was quiet, and he had no war in those years, because Yahweh had given him rest. For he said to Judah, Let's build these cities and make walls around them with towers, gates, and bars. The land is yet before us, because we have sought Yahweh our God. We have sought him, and he has given us rest on every side. So they built and prospered. Asa had an army 300,000 out of Judah who bore bucklers and spears, and 280,000 out of Benjamin who bore shields and drew bows. All these were mighty men of valor. Zerah the Ethiopian came out against them with an army of 1,000,000 troops and 300 chariots, and he came to Mareshah. Then Asa went out to meet him, and they set in battle array in the valley of Zaretha at Mareshah. Asa cried to Yahweh his God and said, Yahweh, there is none beside you to help, between the mighty and him who has no strength. Help us, Yahweh our God, for we rely on you, and in your name we come against this multitude. Yahweh, you are our God. Don't let men prevail against you. So Yahweh struck the Ethiopians before Asa and before Judah, and the Ethiopians fled. Asa and the people who were with him pursued them to Gerar, and so many of the Ethiopians fell that they could not recover themselves, for they were destroyed before Yahweh and before his army, and they carried away very much booty. They struck all the cities around Gerar, for the fear of Yahweh came on them, and they plundered all the cities, for there was much plunder in them. They also struck the tents of livestock and carried away sheep in abundance and camels and returned to Jerusalem. The Spirit of God came on Azariah, the son of Obed, and he went out to meet Asa and said to him, Hear me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. Yahweh is with you while you are with him, and if you seek him, he will be found by you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you. Now for a long time Israel was without the true God, without a teaching priest, and without law. But when in their distress they turned to Yahweh, the God of Israel, and sought him, he was found by them. In those times there was no peace to him who went out, nor to him who came in, but great troubles were on all the inhabitants of the lands. They were broken in pieces, nation against nation, city against city, for God troubled them with all adversity. But you be strong, and don't let your hand slack, for your work will be rewarded. When Asa heard these words and the prophecy of Oded, Oded, the prophet, he took courage and put away the abominations out of all the land of Judah and Benjamin, and out of the cities which he had taken from the hill country of Ephraim. And he renewed Yahweh's altar that was before Yahweh's porch. He gathered all Judah and Benjamin and those who lived with them out of Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon, for they came to him out of Israel in abundance when they saw that Yahweh their God was with him. So they gathered themselves together at Jerusalem in the 3rd month in the 15th year of Asa's reign. They sacrificed to Yahweh in that day the plunder which they had brought, 700 head of cattle, 7,000 sheep. They entered into the covenant to seek Yahweh, the God of their fathers, and with all their heart and with all their soul, and that whatever would not seek Yahweh, the God of Israel, should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. They swore to Yahweh with a loud voice, with shouting and trumpets and with cornets. All Judah rejoiced at the oath, for they had sworn with all their heart and sought him with their whole desire, and he was found by them. Then Yahweh gave them rest all around. Also, Maacah, the mother of Asa the king, he removed from being queen because she had made an abominable image for an Asherah. So Asa cut down her image, ground it into dust, and burned it by the brook Kidron. But the high places were not taken out of Israel. Nevertheless, the heart of Asa was perfect all his days. He brought the things that his father had dedicated and that he himself had dedicated, silver, gold, and vessels, into God's house. There were no more war to the 35th year of Asa's reign. In the 36th year of Asa's reign, Baasha king of Israel went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might not allow anyone to go out or come in to Asa king of Judah. Then Asa brought out silver and gold of the treasures of Yahweh's house and of the king's house, and sent to Benhadad king of Syria, who lived in Damascus, saying, Let there be a treaty between me and you, as there was between my father and your father. Behold, I have sent you silver and gold. Go, break your treaty with Baasha king of Israel, that he may depart from me. Benhadad listened to King Asa and sent the captains of his armies against the cities of Israel, and they struck Ijon, Dan, Abel, Maim, and all the storage cities of Naphtali. When Baasha heard of it, he stopped building Ramah and let his work cease. Then Asa the king took all Judah, and they carried away the stones of Ramah and its timber with which Baasha had built, and he built Geba and Mitzpah with them. At that time Hanani the seer came to Asa king of Judah and said to him, Because you have relied on the king of Syria and have not relied on Yahweh your God, therefore the army of the king of Syria has escaped out of your hand. Weren't the Ethiopians and Lubin a huge army with chariots and exceedingly many horsemen? Yet because you relied on Yahweh, he delivered them into your hand. For Yahweh's eyes run back and forth throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. You have done foolishly in this, for from now on you will have wars. Then Asa was angry with the seer and put him in prison, for he was in a rage with him because of this thing. Asa oppressed some of the people at the same time. Why are they always trying to shoot the messenger? They always got mad at the prophets and killed them and stuff. Verse 11, Behold, the acts of Asa, first and last, behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa was diseased in his feet. His disease was exceedingly great, yet in his disease he didn't seek Yahweh, but just physicians. That's an interesting statement in today's world, today's application. Asa slept with his fathers and died in the 41st year of his reign. They buried him in his own tomb, which he had dug out for himself in David's city, and laid him in the bed which was filled with sweet odors and various kinds of spices prepared by the perfumer's art, and they made a very great fire for him. Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his place and strengthened himself against Israel. He placed forces in all the fortified cities of Judah and set garrisons in the land of Judah and in the cities of Ephraim, which Asa his father had taken. Yahweh was with Jehoshaphat because he walked in the first ways of his father David, and didn't seek the Baals, but sought the God of his father, and walked in his commandments, and not in the ways of Israel. Therefore Yahweh established the kingdom in his hand. All Yahweh brought tribute to Jehoshaphat, and he had riches and honor in abundance. His heart was lifted up in the ways of Yahweh. Furthermore, he took away the high places and the Asherah poles out of Judah. Also in the 3rd year of his reign, he sent his princes, even Ben-Hail, excuse me, sorry about that, Obadiah, Zechariah, Nethanel, and Micaiah, to teach in the cities of Judah, and with them the Levites, even Shemaiah, Nethanel, wait a minute, no. Yeah, Nethaniah, Zebediah, Asahel, Shemiramoth, Jehonathan, Adonijah, Tobijah, Tobadonijah, the Levites, and with them Elishama and Jehoram the priests. They taught in Judah, having the book of Yahweh's law with them. They went about throughout all the cities of Judah and taught among the people. The fear of Yahweh fell on all the kingdoms of the lands that were around Judah, so that they made no war against Jehoshaphat. See there? Everything goes much better when everybody hears and obeys God's word. But how are you going to obey it if you don't hear it, right? If you don't know it? That's why we're reading it, listening to it. So what an interesting progression. So they went around through all the cities of Judah, taught among the people, and the fear of Yahweh fell on the kingdoms of the lands that were around Judah. That's awesome. Verse 11. Some of the Philistines brought Jehoshaphat presents of silver for tribute. The Arabians also brought him flocks, 7,700 rams and 7,700 male goats. Jehoshaphat grew great exceedingly, and he built fortresses and store cities in Judah. He had many works in the cities of Judah, and men of war, mighty men of valor in Jerusalem. This was the numbering of them according to their fathers' houses. From Judah the captains of thousands, Adnah the captain, and with him 300,000 mighty men of valor. Next to him Jehohanan the captain, and with him 280,000, and next to him Amasiah the son of Zikri, who willingly offered himself to Yahweh, and with him 200,000 mighty men of valor. From Benjamin, Elida, a mighty man of valor, and with him 200,000 armed with bow and shield. And next to him Jehozabad, and with him 180,000 ready and prepared for war. These were those who waited on the king, in addition to those whom the king put in the fortified cities throughout all Judah. That's it for today. Not even 15 minutes. Thanks for joining me. You did good today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Till then.